Hello, this is Jimmy Hot Rod. We're working on a distributor today. Yesterday, truck was running 60 miles an hour and it just quit. Checked it on the side of the road, did some troubleshooting, found out it did not have spark. So I checked all the obvious, like this hot wire here. Checked that, had 12 volts. So what I'm doing now is I pulled the distributor off. The distributor has these, they look like screws, but they're really not. You just push them down, they're on a spring, and you slide. You can see that little lever there, slides that little 90-degree lever over, and then push it down, turn it, and then it'll slip right off there for you. This one has this weird little cover on it, takes that off, exposes the coil. We checked that on the side of the road too, and that was working. And then the distributor cap will lift right off after you move those screws. Then we have the rotor. In this rotor, 2 screws in the rotor. Those are real screws, but they won't come all the way out because we don't want to drop them down someplace where we'll lose them. So they usually have a little locker on the back, but loosen them all the way up, pull that off, and then I already replaced it, so I'm kind of working backwards on this video. This little module right here, I'm thinking that's what the problem is. So we took it to the auto parts store. They were able to test it. They found out the old one was dead. So I bought this new one. 2 screws. It's a direct bolt in. It just plugs in, and hopefully we'll put it all back together. It'll be good to go. So I'm gonna wrench this thing back together. I'll be back. Alright, as you can see here, we got it all bolted back together. Just a few suggestions if you're gonna do this yourself. Notice you got I got like the number 1 here on the spark plug. Go ahead and number those. Firing order for a Chevy is 18436572. Memorize that and we can be best friends. Or you could just answer like my wife does and say LMNOP. Both of those work. Anyways, have a great day. Hopefully this thing will fire up. I'm going to turn the key here in just a second. I'll let you know. Alright, we're back. We got everything bolted together. We're ready to turn the key. I got my beautiful assistant to do that job. So here we go. We're going to fire it up. And there you have it. The module was the problem. Just a few tools that you're going to need today. You're going to need a timing light. Anytime you play around with the distributor, you want to retime the engine, get it back where it was. You're going to need a wrench to disconnect at least the negative side of your battery. Always disconnect your battery when you're playing around with the electrical system of the car. You're going to basically just need a screwdriver to get that cap off, get the rotor out of there, and get that module out. All was Phillips screws for me. I got 2 Sharpies here. One that's silver to mark those spark plug wires, one that's black to mark the distributor cap. So you start number 1 where you're supposed to. I had this tester here to diagnose the problem, so I knew I had 12 volts going to the ignition wire, but nothing coming out of the distributor. So that's how I diagnosed that something in the distributor had failed and was not producing spark. And then to double check that when I diagnosed, I got this spark tester here. Spark tester here comes out like this. The spark plug goes in there. Spark plug wire goes in there. And then when you turn the ignition, as if you're going to start the car, this part right here lights up. We didn't have a light, so we knew we did not have a spark. So just a couple tools you'll need. Alright, this is Jimmy Hot Rod. Thank you for watching. I hope that you have safe wrenching and everything goes smoothly for you too. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at jimmyhotrod71@gmail.com. I'll answer your questions the best I can. Thanks again.